3 events down, 3 events to go. Day 1 of the Rogue Invitational is done and dusted. And to be honest, I don't know who is going to win. I'm actually not sure who's going to win. Now, if you put a gun to my head and said who's going to win the Rogue Invitational, I would have an answer for you. So it's not that I'm completely confused and unsure about who's going to take the title. It's just that it isn't done and dusted. It is still up in the air. We're going to go through day 1, all 3 events. We'll talk about the women's a little bit as well. First off, I'm going to give you the overall standing. So we have in 9th place Rain O'Neill, 9.5 points. Paddy Haynes in 14. Tom Stoltman on 16.5. Then Andrade, 17. Bryce Johnson, 17.5. Thomas Evans, 18.5. Lucas Hatton, 18.5. Mitch Hooper, 24. And then Trey Mitchell in the lead on 26.5 points. Now, I didn't have Trey Mitchell leading after day 1. I thought that the yoke escalator would be his downfall, so to speak. I didn't think he'd necessarily do terrible in it, but I thought he'd be sort of bottom half of the pack. But he actually came second in that event, which is pretty impressive, to be honest. I think the fact that they made it really heavy, really hard, benefited Trey more than it benefited the other guys. I will say that, firstly, I'm really impressed with Paddy because he's not the best at yoke. Power stairs is decent, but he's not the biggest. I think he'll be the smallest person there. And he's gone and won that event by quite some way as well. About over 30 seconds he's won that event by. And there was only 4 people who finished that event. One person that I was not impressed with on that, and I'm sorry to say it, but Lucas Hatton. I was not impressed with Lucas Hatton at all. He came second last on that. And when you watch his videos, he talks like he's in great shape and like he's coming to win and these events are really good. And people make mistakes, things happen. And I'm a massive, massive fan of Lucas, by the way. I predicted him to win this show. I think he's always open and honest with everything that he says. He does a lot of strongman content. I don't know if it was just much harder than he expected or if they didn't quite get the training right for it. But to come second last, I was really surprised. Like I say, things happen, but I really expected him to beat the likes of Trey Mitchell, Thomas Evans, Austin Andrade. I thought he'd beat those guys at least, because they're all of sort of similar builds, and I thought Lucas would be the best out of the 3. But anyway, we will come on to that more soon. We're going to talk about the 18-inch deadlift to start with, and it was a good event. It went by really fast, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I don't know. It's weird because when an event is really long, everybody moans, oh, it went on too long. But this just almost was like too quick, went too far the other way. Especially for a max deadlift, maybe we didn't see the best out of the guys because a lot of the wait time was really short. So either way, we had Mitchell Hooper win out of the guys who were doing the full show. I think, overall as well, actually, it didn't really matter. Mitchell Hooper won 476 kg, 1,050 pounds. We then had Trey Mitchell tied with Lucas. We had Austin Andrade came in second, 465. He looked really good on this. I think that he got the weight jumps wrong. I think he had a decent bit more. I think he could have pushed and hit the 1,050 as well and maybe pushed Mitch a little bit further than he wanted to go, and maybe Mitch would have failed it. But still, good points for Austin there. Then we had Lucas and Trey tying in 3rd position with 442 kilos. Again, I thought Lucas would be a little bit higher than that. It's obviously a new piece of kit, but I expected him to get more than that. He was close to the 1,025 or 1,050. He was close to it. Didn't get it, which again, things happen. Things happen. I think we've all done it before, where we go for a lift and it just doesn't quite feel the way that we wanted it to. So yeah, it is what it is. There were a few ties on that. We had 4 people tying on 4-3-1, that being Thomas Evans, Bryce Johnson, Tom Stockman and Rayno Nell. And then Paddy Haynes was the outlier who got 408. He had a go at the 4-3-1, but didn't quite get it. The Viking press, again, I don't want people to think I'm just like being harsh on Lucas Hatton. I think when you, speaking about this when at work yesterday, that's why the video's out this morning and not last night. When you expect a 10 and you get an 8, it feels more like a 6. But if you expect a 6 and you get an 8, it feels like a 10. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if your aunt had balls, she'd be your uncle. But she doesn't, so she's not. Yeah, if you get that, then you get that. Viking press, Trey Mitchell was incredible on this, 22 reps. It was really, really good. We have Mitchell Hooper coming in second with 18. He did one more than he needed to, and I think he did that as more of a statement, to be honest. We had Lucas Hatton and Bryce Johnson on 16. I said Bryce Johnson would be really good on this, and he was really good on this. But, like I say, I thought Lucas would be able to push for the win on this. And he says, we've only done 2 Viking press training sessions. Maybe he should have done more training sessions. I am an advocate for not overtraining and, if anything, undertraining and coming healthy into a show. However, you've only done 2 sessions on the Viking press. Maybe if you'd done more, you'd have been able to push over 20 reps. I think he was relying on the fact that he's strong in the shoulders, which he is, and 16 reps in the tied 3rd place is still a good position, but this is an event that if you want to win the overall show, you have to win this event. Austin Andrade only got 11 reps. There was Thomas Evans 14, Tom Stockman 13 in between there, but Austin isn't good at Viking press. The 3 Viking press performances that he's done, that I know of anyway, Worlds, wasn't the World Tour final, World Open. And then this one, he's not done well. So he only beat Rayno Nell and Paddy Haynes. And for someone that is a really good presser, like he is a good presser, you'd expect him to be much better at a Viking press, but he wasn't. Anyway, final event of the day was the yoke escalator. Yoke into duck walk, into power stairs. Horrible, horrible event. We had Paddy Haynes coming out of the win. 86.42 seconds. Now, when the first 4 guys went, who went in the first 4 guys? It was Paddy, Tom, Rayno, and was it Austin? No, it can't have been Austin, surely. It might have been Thomas Evans in the first. I think it was Thomas Evans in the first 4 to go. Could be wrong. But anyway, not the point. Paddy's time looked good, but it was like, oh, okay, that's a good time, but we think it might be able to be beaten. Tom literally just finished it. And it was a bit like, okay, let's see how the other guys do, because that looked really challenging. Will they be able to beat it? And no, there was only one guy finished, which was Trey, in that heat. In 1:18, so literally just shy of 2 minutes. Mitchell Hooper flew with the yoke, flew with the first 2 power stairs, and then I've seen Big Loz's video. He said that he gassed out. It looked a bit like he had a bit of a knee issue, but he says that he just gassed out. And I mean, his knee looked fine on the Viking press, which, you know, you have to push press. So hopefully it is just a case of, you know, lactic acid build-up and just couldn't complete it. If you watch it, the live stream is free on YouTube. So if you do watch it, it's great because you just see Trey coming from the back essentially and overtaking them all. to take the win in that heat. But at that point, when I see Mitch fly with the yoke, fly with the 2 power, I was like, oh, this show is done. After the first 2 events, to be honest, I was like, this show's done, because he's beat everybody he beat everybody on the 18-inch deadlift, Viking press. He's beat probably his biggest threat in Lucas Hatton, and he's only 1 point behind Trey Mitchell on that event. So he'd already, after 2 events, gave himself a bit of a lead. But then here, he's come mid-pack. And yeah, it's sort of opened the show up a bit more, I suppose. Not entirely, because I still think that Mitch is going to go on and win this. Trey obviously has a good shot at it now if he gets the overhead medley right, which is the next event. If Trey can absolutely smash that, and we know he's an amazing overhead, then he can get himself maybe another point lead at least and be on, 3.5 points ahead. I think Trey's downfall might be the arm over arm. Now, I don't know, to be honest. I don't know the last time Trey did an arm over arm. I can't. Let's try and find it quickly. Let's go on Strongman Archives, guys. Let's go Trey Mitchell. Let's try and find a... Oh, for some reason, no, that's contest. Let's search events. Hold on. Arm. Over. It's not showing me. Well, that's a shame, because he didn't finish he was in the... Was he in the roller coaster? Did he do the roller coaster at the 2023 Rogue Invitational? Is that when he got injured at the 2023? It was. Yeah, so he was injured at that point. So that's a real shame. It was at 2022. Was he there? He was. Sorry, guys, we're getting somewhere. To be fair, he did the roller coaster. He got 7 points. We came 4th, all the way back in 2022. But he did all right. He beat Mitchell Hooper on it. He wasn't far off. Yeah, you know what? He did well. He did quite well. So maybe I'm wrong. It's not got the frame into it, which is a big thing in terms of his grip strength. So maybe Trey Mitchell takes the win. Maybe he doesn't take the win. If I had to say, then I would say Mitchell Hooper's going to take the win. Anyway, the women, just quickly, because my iPad is about to die. Olga Lyshuk is in the lead, 22.5 points. Inez Carrasquillo is in second, 22 points, all the way down to 7th, by the way. There is a 5.5 point split. Then we have Lucy Underdown in third, 20 points. Hannah Lindsay, 19.5. Andrea Thompson, 18.5. Is it Jennifer or Jessica Lyle? I honestly cannot remember. I do apologise. 17.5. Angelica Jardine, 17. Melissa Peacock on 11. Rebecca Roberts on 9. And then Sam Bellevue on 8 points. And by the way, if you don't watch the women's, if you just watch the men's, you are missing out, because the women's is arguably more entertaining. It is arguably more entertaining because it just chops and changes so much. The points just get shared about on every single event, and it's great. Like I say, there is 5.5 points from 7th to 1st. There's still 10 athletes. There's still a good events for the people in the bottom 3, so they can still shake the points up as well. They're probably out of contention in terms of winning, probably out of contention, maybe not in terms of the podium. If you can make it up a 10-point gap on the first day, then you can make back a 10-point gap on the second day. But for me, Inez Carrasquillo is probably going to win because she is just an absolute beast. But I wouldn't count any of the others out either. I think she's incredibly hard to beat. And again, if I had to put money on it, I'd have Inez winning the women's and Mitchell Hooper winning the men's. But I don't need to put money on it. So hopefully there is some different outcomes that we're maybe not expecting. And I still think that Mitch should have waited until the Arnold's. If he's in the shape, after watching the deadlift and the Viking press, if his strength is in that sort of position, where it clearly is, then if he had had another 3 to 4 months to prep for a show, he could have just been absolutely unbeatable. He could have been first in every single event. It's scary when he's the best deadlifter there, arguably from any height, any sort, suit, no suit, figure of eights, not figure of eights, reps, max weight. He's not the best presser there in terms of strength overhead. I think Lucas and Trey still take that in terms of the log, but he did recently do a 216 axle push press out of the rack, which is ridiculous, and he's come second place on the Viking press behind Trey, and he looked like he could have done more. I think if he needed to push over that, I think he could have pushed over that. So when he's one of the best in the world at deadlift, one of the best in the world at pressing, one of the best at moving, he's incredibly, incredibly difficult to beat. And yeah, I think he's going to have to do the last event. I hope Lucas can have a better day too, because I was really, really looking forward to seeing him do well at this show. And he's not doing badly. He's not doing badly. But I think he would, I mean, he has posted a video, I'm going to watch it soon. I think he himself would say that he's not performed to what he expected. Like I say, that's not me being harsh. That's not me saying that he's been shit. That's me saying that I expect more from him, because I believe that he is better than he has shown on day one. And hopefully day two, he comes out fighting like he did at the Strongest Man on Earth and puts up a real fight. Anyway, enjoy the Rogue Invitational today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you for the day 2 reaction.